Thanks, John. So 2 years ago, when John announced the iFund, we like saying, some people were saying he went out on a limb, but I think the evidence shows that that limb was actually connected to a gigantic oak tree. This thing has been big. And we've experienced so much success with the iFund and so much success working with Kleiner that we're so happy of what they've announced today, doubling down, going after the iPad because we agree with them. This thing's going to be big. You know, kind of to recap, you know, in those 2 short years, here's what we've done. We've had 100,000 developers working on iPhone and iPod Touch apps. They've created 150,000 applications that have been downloaded 3 billion times. And you know, some of us get numb to the numbers, but you say that's in 24 months. So with the iPad coming on board, God only knows what's going to happen next, but I think it's going to be pretty big, safe to say. You know, and the beauty of this is, not only has it been great for developers that are currently in the business, but it's been great for people who wanted to become developers, people who have ideas and who have inspirations. And that's what the great role that Kleiner's been able to play with us. And so, for example, the guys that we have here, companies like Goji, Pinger, Shazam, Booyah, and Gmoko. I think, by the way, just one of the things, you got to have a cool name to get funded by Kleiner. I think that goes without saying. But anyway, these guys have been some of the best developers. They've created fantastic apps. And John showed you the statistics of what they've been doing. So again, it's been super successful for what we've done to date. And we can only wait to see what we're going to have, what's going to happen next with the iPad. And I can tell you, kind of like, you know, riffing a little bit on what John's been telling you, we're in the fortunate position in developer relations being able to see sneak peeks of what developers are doing. And I got to tell you, the stuff they're working on is fantastic. It is beautiful, it is interactive, and it is engaging. And in a few short days, you're going to get to experience it too. And I really look forward to seeing you guys do that. And then the last thing is, as we start moving forward on this iPad journey, our encouragement is to all developers out there, not to just go ahead and let your best ideas come forward, but talk to the guys at Kleiner. They're great partners, and they're people who can really help you launch a great business, something bigger than you might even imagine. So with that, I just wanted to thank you guys. I wanted to thank our friends at Kleiner. I want to thank our developers, and I can't wait to see what you guys get to see this coming Saturday. Thank you.
Oh, and just one more thing. The future. Remember, Saturday is just the beginning. Truly, it is just the beginning. Twice in the last 15 years, we've witnessed hundreds of 100,000 flowers blooming. Flowers of applications for the web and then for the iPhone. Because both were paradigm shifts in how we interact. Well, interacting fluidly on full and fast screens with vast information stored locally is a third great paradigm, and it will start a third renaissance of software. It's time to move beyond spreadsheets and word processors, beyond websites limited by browsers, to an interactive, connected kind of application with incredible speed and fluidity, to a future that transforms games and entertainment, education and publishing, healthcare, communications and commerce, and almost everything else. The tablet, the iPad is where these new dreams are going to blossom and where the revolution is happening. Bill Joyce says the key to more performance is lower power. Over the next decade, he sees 3 times better batteries and 10 times lower power chips. So we should be able to run for the same price 30 times as much application. And as for storage, there's no reason why that can't be 30x also. Or about a terabyte of local, fast, solid-state storage. A terabyte is several hundred movies. What's important is that these new tablets won't be just reactive, responding to commands. They're also going to be proactive. They will be much more than personal computers. I like to say they'll be interpersonal surface and services, working seamlessly, unobtrusively, and comfortably in the spaces between us, between you and me and the others. So let's go back from the future to now, to this Saturday. I like to define entrepreneurs this way. Entrepreneurs do more than anyone thinks possible with less than anyone thinks possible. And I'm always awed by entrepreneurs. They surprise us with the improbable because they don't know what's impossible. So, to Steve and the entrepreneurs at Apple, congratulations. Now, let's talk to some of the entrepreneurs from the iFund. For the first time, they will introduce over a dozen apps for the iPad. And it's my pleasure to introduce our moderator, the co-founder of Electronic Arts, one of my best friends, my partner in KPCB's Poet Laureate, Bing Gordon.